I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans.
And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field.
Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
Hello and welcome to Pregame. Iowa State, Kansas State, about ready to get after it here in about 30 minutes. Whiteout in Hilton Coliseum, and we anticipate an incredible atmosphere today. Of course, with all the drama from last year's Kansas State game, there is a lot to look forward to. I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Channel Seed. All my friends at Channel Seed, I'm going to go speak to them and some of their seedsmen and women coming up here in just a couple of weeks. Looking forward to talk about brand building and all that good stuff. I love my partnership with my friends at Channel. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network and all of our pre- and post-game coverage this season. Also, my friends, the Natuzel family. They are Raymond James Financial Advisors. I am positive they are locked in on today's game. New year, new you. If you need a financial advisor in 2025, remember my friends Clay and Chase Natuzel. And, of course, our friends at Keen Project Solutions, a great partner of ours here at Cyclone Fanatic. Well, Jerome Tang hasn't taken the floor yet, and I would imagine when he does, when he is introduced today, I was thinking about this last night. I think it might be one of the loudest crowd reactions for a coach in the history of this building. And I know that sounds like a lot. Bill Self has been booed here, Norm Stewart back in the day. You kind of just respected those guys, though. Maybe didn't like them, but you respected them. Tang openly accused Iowa State of cheating a year ago, and it's been highly publicized, not only nationally, but leading up to this game, because Iowa State's a 15-point favorite today, and that is the story. Now, Kansas State can say they haven't thought about it, and why would they? I would guess that Tang calling Taman Lipsy a flopper and everything that went down in this building a year ago was probably used as a chip of motivation for this 15-point favorite Iowa State team when it comes to getting off the deck after a incredibly painful loss on Big Monday at Arizona. So that's my expectations for today. I think this will be one of the craziest crowds we'll see all season long. I think it's going to be a crowd like an Iowa game is the best way I would describe it. The Iowa game is always, it's always early in the year. It's always, Iowa usually brings good, not great teams into this building, but it's just the pure hatred. And that's what you get, and that's what I feel like this crowd will have today. Not really even for the Kansas State program, but for its head coach. And he earned every bit of it. Having said that, Kansas State is getting better. And you got to give Coach Tang and that group props. We already talked about how does Iowa State get off the deck. That's exactly what Kansas State has done here over the last week. It was a week from today when they hosted West Virginia and upset the Mountaineers, which was probably the best win of the season, definitely the best win of the season for Kansas State. They also hosted Oklahoma State on Wednesday, and Oklahoma State is not very good. But they did what you should do against bad teams, and you blow them out by 30. Coleman Hawkins gets the headlines for this team, but this is a very balanced basketball team in terms of scoring. You've got three guys barely in double figures and a bunch from anywhere from like 7 to 10 points in scoring. Housen is the one you watch for as far as their best three-point shooter. He can pop out there and hit a three from anywhere. But this is a very balanced Kansas State team. Hawkins is he's the best player, right? Averages double figures, 7 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Also up there around 2 blocks and 2 steals. So he's their best all-around player. But it's certainly not the Coleman Hawkins show, as many people thought potentially going into the preseason. This is a team in Kansas State, as a couple people have pointed out, and I agree with you. Ryan says that really their last 5 games, they've been pretty good. You have to give credit where it's due. That Tang, this team could have completely just cashed it in, and they haven't. Even in games at Lawrence, I don't know if you guys watched that game at Allen Fieldhouse, I thought they played pretty well. They got down like 14-0 early, and I thought they were just going to roll over and die. They certainly did not. So, anyways, that's it with Kansas State. Now we go to Iowa State. As I'm looking at Milan Momcilovic, Otts told us earlier this week that he doesn't have the hard cast on anymore. That's a good thing, working on strength. Looks like Iowa State is going to be wearing the home whites with the dribbling side, my favorite uniforms. That's what they're going to be wearing today here in Hilton Coliseum. And it's just I'm glad that they had a little bit of a break, right, after the Monday game. If that's going to happen, I would rather that happen on a Monday compared to a Wednesday night. What happened in Arizona? And how do they get up off the deck? I really don't worry about it with this group of guys. They seem incredibly tough mentally. I know their head coach well. And I'm guessing that he has always been up on it, or he has been up in them since they got back. Can't imagine there's any sort of a letdown or a lull or anything like that for Iowa State. Let's look at some questions here. Drew asking about Iowa State's injuries. I don't believe there are any, unless there's some that I don't know about. And then Chilovic is out. I'm watching Lipsy warm up in front of me. Everybody's good for Iowa State. Steve says this is going to be a bigger reaction than Billy Tubbs, Norm Stewart, and Bill Self combined. We'll see about that. That's a pretty big statement. The one thing that you have now that you didn't have in that era is you have social media. And they've been drumming this thing up really ever since that game ended on Monday night. Jenks wants to know my Royal Rumble pick tonight. I'm going CM Punk, best in the world. Easy call. I don't even got to think about that, Jenks. In the best shape of his life. You heard the promo on Monday night. He's going straight after Cody Rhodes' ass. That's all I got for you. My gut tells me Iowa State wins this game by 20. However, another short turnaround to Monday night. Do you keep your foot on the gas? You let some extra guys play? I'm anxious to see the playing time of Demarion Watson. We saw him play a lot in the prime rotation at the end of that game in Arizona. Was that a situational thing? Is that a sign of things to come? How does Curtis Jones, who's walking in front of me right now, how does he bounce back from really his only poor game of the season? I'll tell you what, I will bet you money they draw some stuff up for him in the first 3 or 4 possessions. That would be my guess. Guys, this is going to be a fun one. I'll be here live right after the game. Rob Gray and Connor Ferguson have all of your post-game coverage as well. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, you should. We post all the post-game press conferences there. Of course, follow us everywhere else on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Enjoy the game. I'll be back the second this thing is over right here on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.